Friday, 25th February, The Gap News This Morning. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah. Good morning. First, the headlines. MOH drops quarantine rule for boosted asymptomatic COVID-19 close contacts. No salmonella in baby formula, Abbott assures. Walk-in vaccination for kids starts next month. MACC records ex-Astro CEO's statement on 1MDB scandal. Ukraine deaths as battles rage after Russia invasion. Malaysians in Ukraine in good hands, says Ismail Sabri. And Nadal off to a great start. Medvedev keeps number one in sights. And now the news in full. Close contacts to COVID-19 positive cases, age 18 and above, who have received all 3 vaccine doses and remain asymptomatic will no longer have to undergo mandatory quarantine. Health Minister Hari Jamaluddin announced a new standard operating procedure during a press conference Thursday, saying the new rule will come into effect beginning March 1st. As a safeguard, Hari said asymptomatic close contacts must conduct self-tests on the day they find out their exposure to a positive case and another test on the 3rd day. They will have to do these tests themselves and upload the results into the MySejahtera application. He said these are among the steps being taken by the government and health ministry as the country moves towards endemicity. However, he said close contacts with 3 doses of vaccine who begin to experience symptoms will still have to undergo the mandatory 5-day quarantine. Abbott Laboratories Malaysia's Indiran Berhad assured that the Chronobacter sakazaki or Salmonella Newport bacteria were not found in any of their distributed products, following their proactive voluntary recall of 2 powder formulas. After testing the recalled products, Abbott announced that neither the bacteria was detected. However, product tests will still resume. Abbott explained they had voluntarily issued a recall notice for their products, the Alimentum and Human Milk Fortifier baby formula, after news broke out that the bacteria were found in the products manufactured by Abbott Nutrition, based in Sturgis, Michigan, United States of America. Additionally, they also asked hospitals and pharmacies to pull these products off the shelves. The National Immunization Program for Children, PIG-Kids, will accept walk-ins at selected vaccination centers starting March 1st. State health departments will release the list of vaccination centers through their respective websites, Deputy Health Minister Noor Azmi Ghazali said in a statement. He also said that the ministry would be updating the appointment system on the MySejahtera app in stages starting today, so that parents or guardians who wish to make appointments for their children's vaccination can do so from March 7. PIG-Kids is aiming to vaccinate 3.6 million children aged 5 to 12 ahead of the new school year and to make sure that the risk of infection is minimized as well as to prevent clusters and cases among school staff. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, is believed to have taken a statement from former Astro Malaysia Holdings Berhad Group CEO Rohana Roshan over the 1MDB controversy. According to a report by Utusan Malaysia, the MACC is said to have opened an investigation following revelations by former Goldman Sachs Southeast Asia chairman Tim Lesner in a US federal court. Lesner is the star witness in the trial of former Goldman Sachs Malaysia banker Roger Ng, which is taking place at the Brooklyn Federal Court in New York. On Tuesday, Lesner told the jury that he had bought Rohana a US $10 million property in London in 2013 after she blackmailed him following their breakup and threatened to expose his involvement in 1MDB. Thank you for being with us in this podcast group. You are listening to The Gap News, coming to you from Kuala Lumpur with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. More to come, news from the international front. Russian forces launch a full-scale assault on Ukraine, with its military attacking the country from the north, east and south. Ukraine's health minister says 57 people were killed and 160 wounded on Thursday. People in the capital Kiev and elsewhere are trying to flee. Some 100,000 have left so far, the UN says. There are also renewed reports of explosions in the port city of Mariupol, home to 500,000 people. Russians seize control of the Chernobyl complex, site of the world's worst nuclear disaster. UK and US announce fresh new sanctions on Russia, including asset freezes on banks. President Vladimir Putin defends his move, saying there was no other way to defend Russia. But US President Joe Biden says Putin's aggression will cost Russia dearly. Amidst the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri has given his assurance that Malaysians currently in Ukraine will be well taken care of. The government is saddened by the developments taking place in Ukraine. Our priority at this time is to ensure that Malaysian families in Ukraine are safe, he said in a Twitter post. Noting there are currently 11 Malaysians still in Ukraine, Ismail Sabri said that the Malaysian embassy in Kiev is currently working to provide protection and a safe haven for Malaysians prior to their journey back to Malaysia. A total of 23 Malaysians had registered with the embassy, with 12 having already returned home. And now for some sports news. Rafael Nadal extended his winning run in 2022 to 12 matches in his best start to a season in his career, dismissing American Stefan Kozlov 6-0, 6-3 in Acapulco to reach the quarterfinals of the ATP 500 tournament. The 21-time Grand Slam champion, a 3-time winner in the coastal resort town, arrived in Mexico, having won an Australian Open tune-up event and the hardcourt major in Melbourne last month, after missing a chunk of 2021 with a foot problem. To end the bulletin, here are the headlines again. MOH drops quarantine rule for boosted asymptomatic COVID-19 close contacts. No salmonella in baby formula, Abbott assures. Walk-in vaccination for kids starts next month. MACC records ex-Astro CEO's statement on 1MDB scandal. Ukraine deaths as battles rage after Russia invasion. Malaysians in Ukraine in good hands, says Ismail Sabri. And Nadal off to a great start. Medvedev keeps number 1 in sights. This has been the Gap News this morning, Friday, 25th February, with reports from Free Malaysia Today, The Vibes and the BBC World Service. The Gap News is also available on the internet news portal Melaka Hari Ini. We hope you found the bulletin informative. We certainly welcome hearing from you. If you do have the opportunity, please do write in. We would certainly love to hear from you. Podcasting live from Kuala Lumpur, I'm Ghazali Abdullah.